Hello and welcome to the live today, you guys. I'm going live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok. So, how do we play live with Chelsea Gods? I mostly just read your comments and then I dunk on some of you. What are we talking about in the news today? Probably human rights violations and abuses. I just want you guys to know that if you are on the side of violating other people's human rights, you should not be surprised that your government is also going to violate your human rights. They don't actually have any limit on when they violate certain people's human rights. Right? Like these people, I'm going to violate their rights, but not these ones. That's actually not how it works. They will violate your human rights entirely. I do believe that the United States right now in 2026 is much closer to the USSR than it is to the USA. So things aren't going great, you guys. Oh, I better go ahead and open up my chat over here because I know it's going to get spicy. Eventually, we're going to get some sad boys in the chat who are going to be spicy. Oh man, I just hit a button. What did I do? Gosh, I always do this. I'm always hitting these buttons when I don't mean to. Nice to see Texas communist. Oh no, watch out! The whole entire state of Texas is for you. So spooky, so scary. They want to continue living in poverty for the rest of their existence and doing the bidding of billionaires. Don't you understand? Who needs water? Actually, Texas has one of the first major cities in the United States of America. Hey, Ray over here on Facebook and Michael over on Facebook. Nice to see you guys. Thanks for hopping on here. Corpus Christi, Texas is going to be one of the first major cities in the United States of America to lose their water. And they're going to continue giving water to the oil companies in Corpus Christi, and they're going to not let the residents have water. What's happening in Indiana? Gary, Indiana has been without power for 9 days. There are 174 data centers in Indiana. Indiana is a deserted wasteland of Superfund sites. And if you don't know what a Superfund site is, well, that's where they took all of the toxic metals that they could and put them in an area. Indiana is a Superfund site, pretty much it's in its entirety from industrialization. And people are without power in Gary, Indiana. Gary, Indiana is not even that far away from Chicago. This is actually crazy. This is so much crazier than anyone should be talking. Like in Trump's America in 2026, there is a major U.S. city. It was a major U.S. city, still has people living there where people don't have power. Indiana doesn't tax the data centers. Oh, well, no wonder. Oh, wow, we have someone from South Africa. That's great. Awesome. Thank you for popping in here. Thanks for popping in here. We have a request from a Trumper. If you let me up when you pay me money. Hey, from Point Loma, that's my town, right there. If you want to be let up onto the live on TikTok, you literally have to pay me. I don't like the MAGA. What am I going to do? Have a conversation with someone? Have a conversation with someone in a cult? Have a conversation with someone in a cult and pretend that it's productive? No, thank you. No, thank you. Why ask for money? Because my ears feel like bleeding every time I have the unfortunate circumstance of talking to one of you guys. Like, that's why. Of course, I know exactly why you're talking to me. He says, I didn't want to say anything other than you look nice. Yeah, I know I look nice. I know it. Thank you. Hello from Las Vegas. Thank you, Marcus. Nice to see you. Redding, California in the house. We have Philadelphia in the chat here. Have I ever signed into the hub? No, I will do that. I need to sign into the hub. That is my friend Aaron, and I need to do it. Can you send me the link one more time, either in my text or just a DM after here today? The Magisphere is painful. It is painful. It is painful. Throw ice into my tub. I don't know what that means. No one knows what that means. No one knows what I mean. I will keep up the good work. You can't even stop me. I'm going to tap dance across the United States of America, bringing democracy and freedom back to this country. By the way, I have fully decided that I will never hit your inbox. You need to stop being a gerontophile. Your love of an 80-year-old man is literally destroying the entire planet, and you guys are gross. Super gross. I think at this point, if you're still a Trump supporter, I know a couple things about you. Number one, you're not very smart. And number two, you're probably a perv. Like those things are related also. We got Seattle. We got Reno, Nevada. That's awesome. I'm a piece of work. You don't even know how to spell your. It's you are. Y-O-U apostrophe R-E. You are lacking education. And you should learn how to do it. Oh, we got another ice buster. Joey, thanks for being an ice buster. Do I feel brainwashed? Absolutely not. Who's my leader? What leader do I follow that I follow everything they have to say? I think that I'm trying to promote critical thinking in the United States of America. I'm trying to teach people to be skeptics about things. I'm trying to teach people to, question what people tell them and see kind of between the lines. So no, I don't feel like I'm in a cult. I grew up in a cult. I think that's one of the things that why I know MAGA is a cult and why I feel like ultimately prepared to deal with the MAGA is that I grew up in a cult. Yeah, absolutely. I'll be president. Chelsea 2028. That's right. Chelsea for president, you guys. Chelsea for president. Oh, we got someone from Wales. We have someone from across the pond. That's right. You follow Miss Antifa. Perfect. Thank you for saying you love my work in Florida. You are in hell. You know what, though? Here's the deal. You got alligators, and that's a positive for Florida. Where else are you going to find that many nice alligators in close proximity to also dolphins? Do I have any update on the DeWoke farmer Don Lemon trials in Minneapolis? No, I don't have any update on what's happening with them. I don't worry about Don Lemon. I do worry a little bit about my friend, but I don't know if I have any updates on that. Great question. Thank you, Mary, for saying you stand on my side. And Oregon, we have another Oregon. I have my own cult. Yeah, my cult is called the Cult of Gods. If you guys are interested in joining the Cult of Gods, you know how you can join? Get your very own matching hats. Oh, look, I've got to flip out my camera. I haven't been doing that. What a mistake I made here. Oh, they changed how it looks. So how do I change the camera now? The camera's right over here. The camera's right over here on... It is all about Will. It is for sure all about Will. Like, they're going after him the most. So I am, a little nervous and scared for him just because maybe video mirroring is off. Oh, look at, we did it. We did it. Both parties are a cult. Absolutely not. One party has created a system of concentration camps torturing human beings all across the entire United States of America and currently has a leader who is the first and only president in the entire United States history to make a profit of presidency while being president and manipulate market while being president. I don't like this idea of saying both sides are the same because that's actually a right-wing talking point. Right-wingers use both sides are the same so that you don't pay attention, so that you do not pay attention to the corruption that they're actually doing. Obama built the prison for children. I actually don't think that Obama was great on deportations. I obviously don't feel that way, but during Barack Obama's presidency, did he have an armed mass paramilitary force terrorizing people on American streets? And the answer to that is no. No. Like, categorically, no. Who would win in a UFC cat fight, Natalie Harper, Melania? Melania wouldn't even show up. She wouldn't even show up. She'd be like, I go fight for love of my husband. No, I don't know. I don't think so. No, that's what Melania would do. She would be absolutely not. I always love this. Do some research. Hey, Jose, brown boy who thinks that he's a member of Team White Supremacist. You're not a member of Team White Supremacist. That's just me letting you know that. When you say do some research, I would like to casually remind you that one of us went to college. And it's not you. It's not you. It's not you. So when we talk about the word research and when we talk about the word education, it actually means something entirely different than the context in which you use it. I already said that I do not agree with Barack Obama's policies when it comes to deportation, but Trump is infinitely much worse and separating families on the reg all the time. Like, I feel very comfortable criticizing my political leaders and calling out things that I think that they failed at. I think that's the thing that the MAGA absolutely cannot do. They cannot say something that they don't like about Donald Trump. Even when they were all, no new wars, when Donald Trump started a new war, they're like, yes, America. They don't even question it at all. They just fall in line. I think that if you're the type of person who doesn't question your political leaders, well, then that's why you're in a cult. Yeah, Obama created DACA. That's right. Obama gave a way for people to get citizenship, and Trump is spending millions of dollars arresting DACA recipients. That's right. By the way, you guys need to understand that what's happening in the United States is not about deportation, and it's always been about racism, and it's always been about taking your money from your taxes, and instead of spending it on you and your family and other Americans, it's about giving it to some billionaires who own private prisons. This has always been a money-making opportunity off of the pain and suffering of human beings. All of the concentration camps across the United States are for-profit prisons. Now, don't be surprised that when your government is making money off of for-profit prisons, and yes, your government is making money off of for-profit prisons, Donald Trump traded stocks of Geo Group and CoreCivic 37 times in 2025. And Geo Group and CoreCivic, surprise, surprise, saw a 700% increase in their profits last year. That's right, Geo Group and CoreCivic, the largest private prison corporations in the entire world. Hey, do you guys live in a free country if you have the largest private prison corporations in the entire world? Does that sound like freedom to you? No, it doesn't, does it? Does it? And they actually made money off of locking people up. Absolutely crazy. And they're doing that by taking your taxes. We spent more in July than any other presidency ever. Donald Trump spent more money than any other presidency ever. And do you guys have health care? No, you don't. Do you have affordable housing? No, you don't. You don't. Isn't it interesting that you spent more money than ever of your taxes? More money than ever of your taxes, and you have nothing to show for it. What did you get? You got the bill. You got the bill, and Donald Trump's friends all made money. And Donald Trump's campaign donors all made money. And you got the... We don't need affordable housing. We have war. Yeah, that is what you got. War. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. So this has always been about a money-making campaign off of the pain and suffering of human beings, and also pushing forward racist policies. Any brown boys in my comments who are dumb enough to be on the side of the policies of white supremacy, you need to understand that they will also fall on your house, and that the MAGA white people do not see you as the same as them. They may see you as a useful token, but you need to remember that tokens always get spent. If you're confused about that, then go ahead and look up Herman Cain and remind yourself that in this situation, you're Herman Cain. They don't care about you. They literally don't care about you. And they will take legal brown citizens and break their arms in backs of cars. That's right. In Minneapolis, Minnesota, a 17-year-old boy who was working at Target during the raids in Minneapolis earlier this year had his arm broken while he was in ICE custody for about 20 minutes. And he was left on the side of the road with a broken arm, even though he had his passport in his back pocket the entire time. Or maybe you guys remember that ICE executed a U.S. citizen in Texas, near Brownsville, Texas last year, and no one talked about him getting murdered because ICE didn't release that they murdered him, and he was a U.S. citizen. Now, why was ICE pulling over a U.S. citizen and murdering them? Well, the answer to that is racism. The answer to that is white supremacy. When you create a job where the job description perfectly lines up with a member of the Proud Boys, the KKK, or the Oath Keepers, and they're all the same. They're all members of the same stupid fraternity club where they're all circle jerking each other off. It's a hate to hatred. If you, I got restricted for no reason. I'm going to have to turn that down and turn it back on. If you create a job description that's perfectly suited for members of the KKK, then don't be surprised that members of the KKK are in that job. And those people are not emotionally well regulated. In fact, they're not well regulated in anything at all. If you have a weaponized paramilitary force going after people on the streets just based off of their skin color, which, by the way, I do mean just based off their skin color. That is what the Supreme Court decision said. That is what Brett Kavanaugh said, is that you can just go after people based on the language they're speaking and the color of their skin. Then you should not be surprised that United States citizens have been murdered. Martin, this is not a lie. I know that you don't want to believe that the policies of white supremacy are going to fall hard on your house, but they will fall hard on your house, because when they're breaking the arms of 17-year-old little boys who work at Target because they're brown, and they're murdering people in Brownsville, Texas because they're brown, then you need to understand that you are in fact the target market for this, okay? They're trying to make it so that it's an all-white country, and I know that you want to be like, no, if they came here the right way. Well, the stories I just told you about a little boy having his arm broken and a man getting murdered in Brownsville, Texas, both of them were citizens. Yeah, both of them were citizens. Just like you think I'm going to be fine. You're not. The policies of white supremacy The policies of white supremacy and the policies of oppression will always affect you. Oppression is not linear. It will affect you and your household. It will affect your children. It will affect the people in your family, and you will not be surprised. Shannon, prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. You can't. You think I won't stand 10 toes down on the reality? You know, here's the funniest thing is that the MAGA will be like, you're lying, you're lying, you're lying, because they don't like hearing the harsh reality. But then when they find out that the harsh reality is true, they just move the goalpost anyway. They just don't care anyway. They just don't care anyway. So she'll look online, she'll find out that the things that I'm saying are absolutely 100% true. And then she'll go, yeah, but they deserved it. But they deserved it. They deserved it. Well, the 17-year-old boy, it was all caught on camera, the whole entire thing. And he had his passport in his back pocket the whole entire time. And they broke his freaking arm. These people are violent. They are members of the KKK. They're racist at their core. And then you shouldn't be surprised that these racists are going to cause huge, serious problems. You know, you should be surprised that they're murdering people. It's not surprising. The guy who murdered Sebastian Guerrera in Bedford, Maine, was a wife abuser who'd had restraining orders against him. Who had a wife abuser and had restraining orders against him. Like, do you understand how absolutely crazy it is that you've hired the worst people, the worst of the worst? You've hired people who are harming children, harming women, and then you're like, well, I'm going to just let them murder people in the street. I'm going to let them murder people in the street. You know, Shannon, again, prove me wrong. You can't. You can't. Shannon, you voted for a man who talked about his own 1-year-old daughter's breasticles. Dude, like, what do you need to know? What more do you need to know? You've seen the proof of the pudding. Gas is more expensive. Housing is more expensive. Groceries are more expensive. Everything is more expensive. Life is unaffordable. There's no jobs. Everyone knows the job market has completely collapsed. And you can't even afford to go to the freaking doctor. And you're going to sit in my comments and you're going to sit there and defend a PDF file with your entire life. Dumb. Worshiping a politician hasn't worked out for anybody in the history of anywhere. Never. Not once. Not one freaking time. Not when they worship Mao. Not when they worship Stalin. Not when they worship the H-man. Because I'm over on TikTok. We got to watch the words that we're saying. Not when they worship anyone. Do you understand? Worshiping a politician does not work out well for anybody. When you don't hold your political leaders accountable, they will walk all over you. When you don't hold your political leaders accountable, they will be so corrupt that the corruption will be systemic. It'll be endemic. It'll be everywhere in the system. I've got to turn. Why am I getting someone just keeps reporting me? I hurt someone's feelings over on TikTok. So funny. Like when you hurt people's feelings over on TikTok, they get real sad. So I had to end my live on TikTok and get restarted here. I feel like I'm trying to put common sense out there for people. When has worshiping a politician worked out? Let me know. Let me know in the comments when worshiping a politician has worked out for anybody. By the way, you are listening to Chelsea God's Live. We're over here on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and then, of course, I'm over on my phone on TikTok. You wear my shirts everywhere. I love that. What shirts do you have? I want to know what shirts you have. Obviously, I wear my shirts everywhere as well. I'm a big, huge fan of the shirts. I love it. Here we go. Turn the mirroring off. We're back here. Blake, when it comes to common sense, I certainly have more than you. Let's say it one more time. For common sense sake, Blake, when has worshiping a politician worked out well for the masses? Let me know. Let me know. Which of my shirts make the MAGAs the maddest? Deport Melania is a great one for connecting with people. You know what? The 666 necklace is not mine. For connecting with people who are the same as you because they see it and they laugh. No one's ever going to say anything negative about it. I also get a ton of compliments on Leave Your MAGA Boyfriend shirt. I get a ton of those. I love your shirt. But the Deport Melania, by all means, is my most popular one, for sure. My most popular one, 100%. You have, look at that. She has Deport Melania and Leave Your MAGA Boyfriend. And honestly, those are the ones. Like, if you want to set someone off, like, Leave Your MAGA Boyfriend. Let me say this one more time. Okay, why don't you say something? Brian says that I should seek help. First off, Brian, I'm actually a very self-actualized person who's very happy with my personal and professional life. And I'm a very high-functioning individual, like certainly more high-functioning than 99% of the United States population. Second, you go on to say that you disagree with Trump and his administration on certain issues. So I would be interested in knowing what you disagree with. Yeah, I have never heard anybody hold Trump accountable for any of the things he says or does. So now I'm dying. I'm dying to know. I'm dying to know what are the things that you're willing to hold your disgusting leadership accountable for. It's not the Epstein files because yeah, you're not holding him accountable for that. Oh, we got someone from Oz. We got someone from Oz in the chat, Australia. All right, awesome. I love when I see people from other countries. We had South Africa. We have Australia. That's great. Did you know that okay, Michael says, praise Vermin Supreme. Michael, did you know that Vermin Supreme is Robbie Roadsteamer's? Did you know that Vermin Supreme is Robbie Roadsteamer's mentor? You know? Uh, where would I be in public this Saturday? I don't know if I'm going out Saturday. On Sunday, I'm going to try and get to Otay Mesa again. I haven't been to Otay Mesa in a few weeks. I'm trying to get back there. Oh, okay. Brian told me that he was going to hold Trump accountable and there were things that he didn't agree with, but he doesn't have any. He doesn't have any. Actually, no, it's not Vermin Supreme for president. It's Chelsea Gods for president. That's right. Chelsea 2028. Let me tell you my campaign promises. Some campaign promises that I intend to keep. Anything that Donald Trump put his name on in a vanity project while he was president of the United States during this term will be removed summarily. And if it's a building that it cannot be removed or he built the building, I will bulldoze it to the ground. I will also allow the entire population of the United States to enter into a lottery so that you can be one of the people that gets to drive one of those bulldozers. You want to bulldoze Trump's ballroom? Great. Hop on board. We're going to make it so a lotto system so you can come on out to Washington, D.C. and watch fascism be bulldozed to the ground. You get to be involved in that because this is a country that's of the people, by the people, and for the people, and not for the rich, nasty billionaires who hung out with Jeffrey Epstein for 15 years. We're going to get rid of every monument to fascism. Men, the type of men who build monuments and statues to themselves are the type of people who should be forgotten with history. Saddam Hussein also did that, and I don't have any interest in a dictatorship. No, thank you. Before Donald Trump, there was no president who was so brazen as to try and put his face on things like the national parks card, on a coin, putting his face, having statues erected to himself. Just so you guys know, when a politician worships themselves, that's a red flag. That's a red flag. All right, Harado, I know that you've been trying to meet me. I'm trying to think like where I'll be Saturday. I don't know if I'm out anywhere Saturday. I will be on Sunday though, but I'm going to be at Otay, I think. Okay, his cabinet members to be investigated. His cabinet members are all corrupt as well. And don't forget that his cabinet members, like a vast number of them, are all in the Epstein files. We literally have the Epstein presidency. Look at, he has nothing. He has nothing. Well, I kind of didn't like it. However, Trump kind of did fine. How funny. Brian, you had nothing. You had nothing. Melania is a legal immigrant. Do you think that's true? There are people who are locked up and it comes just 25 minutes away from me right now, being starved, being tortured, being abused, and just, all around awful conditions, who have done less than what Melania did. So do you really think Melania is a legal immigrant? If I told you that Melania worked in the United States illegally before she was a citizen of this country, how would that make you feel? Because there are people down just a few minutes away from me right now who did less than what she did. She lied on her visa application. Let's talk about how Melania got a visa on her back. That's right. Paolo Zampoli, Donald Trump's very good friend and current global ambassador, who's also in the Epstein files. They're always in the Epstein files. They're always in the Epstein files. They're always in the Epstein files. Why are they always in the Epstein files? And Chino, just one more time to remind you, brown boy and the MAGA white supremacists don't like you. I always like to take a moment to remind all the black and brown supporters of Donald Trump that as much as you think you're a member of Team White Supremacist, you're not. They actually see you in the role of house slave. They don't see you on the same level as themselves. I know that you want to be part of that club, but the policies of white supremacy will actually fall heavily on your head. Let's go back to Melania. Melania worked in the United States illegally. Melania obtained her visa illegally. Melania obtained her visa illegally through Paolo Zampoli, who, believe it or not, is all over the Epstein files and still all over the White House, because that's what this White House is the Epstein White House. Paolo Zampoli had a business. What was Paolo Zampoli's main business? If you guessed selling fake visas and passports, boy, would you be absolutely 100% correct. You'd be absolutely 100% correct. And Paolo Zampoli, who also hurt little girls just like Jeffrey Epstein, Donald Trump, and the whole lot, all of them, is still involved in the United States government to this day. And he is the person who got Melania her visa. But who's the person who introduced Melania to Donald Trump? Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein. Do I have evidence of people being starved and mistreated? You can literally look up Adelanto, 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 worms in water. Go ahead and look that up. Go ahead, look it up. Do you think that human beings should have worms in water? I don't know if I believe that. I actually think a country that tries to portray itself as being a country who believes in democracy and freedom should not be equated with third world countries. I think if you are treating people like a third world country treats people, it's because you're a third world country and you're the bad guy. You're the bad guy. I am just tired of being the bad guys. I really don't want to be the bad guys anymore. I actually would prefer. Last month we spent more money than ever, and all of us are poor. Everybody's poor, and we spent more money than ever. How does that track? How are we spending more money than ever and everybody's so freaking poor? Exactly. Tracy says Trump supporters are traitors to our country and our Constitution. They've never read the Constitution and they don't love this country the way that I love this country. I want to tell you guys that every MAGA, all of you are anti-American. You're America haters. You're America haters. Every MAGA who exists on this planet is a person who hates America. You love a billionaire because you hate America. This country is supposed to be a place where people come for opportunity and freedom, and Trump is the opposite of that. You guys worship a person who's only in the position he's in life because he was born into it. And I got to tell you guys a secret here. I don't think that the aristocracy should be leading people. I don't think the aristocracy has any idea what an average everyday person's life is like. I think putting the aristocracy on a pedestal and thinking that they have some right to rule over us is a huge freaking mistake, and history has showed us every time that it's a mistake. I lost my children. I have full custody of my children. My MAGA husband lost his children because MAGAs are nuts. Yeah, my MAGA ex-husband lost custody of his children entirely because MAGAs are nuts. Some person's like, you don't have your kids. I do. I literally do. In fact, they would be surprised to hear you say that. They'd be surprised to hear you say that. MAGAs are absolutely insane. They voted for an insane person. They're absolutely crazy. You guys have no redeeming qualities, and you're in the dumbest cult in the history of the world. I think watching a cult take form in real time in my real life is crazy. Not Jake24. Thank you so much for those gifts. Thank you. So nice to have those. Thank you. Daniel says that he wants to beat me up. Oh, what a big, tough, scary guy. Oh, Daniel, so scary. What a big, tough guy you are. Hiding behind a screen saying that I should be beat. Oh, do you feel like a strong man when you tell that you're going to hurt women? Do you feel like a strong man when you say you're going to hurt ladies? I actually want you to know I'm going to continue ruling the world. I keep winning. If there's one thing that Chelsea Gods keeps doing, I just keep on winning. I just keep on winning. Oh, we got a bot in the chat. By the way, you guys, I want you to know that most of the MAGA comments that you see online are in fact bots. And why do I know that? Because I look at my statistics. I look at my analytics and I go number 1 country, USA, number 2 country, United Kingdom, number 3, number 2 country, Canada, number 3 country, United Kingdom, number 4, Australia, number 5, Nigeria, a bunch of bots. Like, the only people who like Trump are computers because nobody in real life does. How's your gasoline prices, you guys? How's your gasoline prices? Oh yeah. How's your housing prices? What about those groceries? Groceries are going to be cheaper on day 1. They're going to be cheaper on day 1. I love the bot named Omar. I love a bot named Omar in here. What's your last name? Omar. And then it's Sikander. I love a bot named Omar in here pretending that he's like pro-Trump. Freaking hilarious. What am I winning? The cultural narrative of the United States of America, the hearts and minds of the youth of this country. I'm winning in my ideals. Yeah, every time. I win all the time. Literally keep on winning. showing up everywhere, my popularity rising, my message spreading everywhere. All the things that I wanted for myself happened. And all of it because I just know how to try harder than most people. I'm smarter than most people. And I really care about this country and knew that I could be one of the people who could help bring it to freedom. You know that the United States was founded by people who had gumption. That's how this country was created, is that there were people out there who thought to themselves, I could change the world and I could make it better. I could change the world and I could make it better. And I went, yeah, I'm just like that. That's me. I could change the world and make it better. I want the world to be better for everyone, even for people who are dumb enough to be Trump supporters. I want you guys to be able to afford housing. I want you to be able to afford groceries. I want you to have jobs. I don't want your jobs to be eliminated by billionaires who have more money than they could ever use in their entire existence. Like, even if I don't agree with your political opinions, I still genuinely want your life to be better. And I keep on winning because people see that. They see my authenticity. They see how genuine I am. And I'm providing real solid plans on how we can make the world a better place for everyone. For everyone. I have to be one of the most bitter people I've ever seen. First off, Cindy, I'm not bitter. I'm just realistic. I'm actually one of the most optimistic people who I have ever met in my entire life. And a lot of people are taken aback by like how, Chelsea, how can you still be so optimistic? Because I know that the only time you don't have hope is when you stop trying. The only time that there's not hope is when you have given it up. And I'm very optimistic. I hate Donald Trump. Yeah, of course I do. He harms women. He harms children. He was Jeffrey Epstein's best friend for 15 years. You know, 15 years. You guys are going to sit there and act like it's normal. And before any of you Bill Clinton me, ew, gross. Bill Clinton's gross. See how easy it is to hold people accountable for being gross? You know? Democracy requires people to be empathetic. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think that that's the thing, is that there are people on the right have tried to make empathy seem like it's a problem. And that's a huge, serious issue, because the only way that our humanity and our civilizations continue forward is through cooperation and through empathy. That's literally the only way that people move forward on the planet. And realistically, we have to remember that conservatives do not win history. They don't win history, not even at all. There are no conservative things that win throughout history. In fact, we always progress forward. Think about the people who hated gay people in the 1950s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and early aughts. Think about them. They still lost. They still lost. Like, as time goes on, time just on its own progresses, you know? We move forward. Okay, first off, I don't want to hear you say that he reported Epstein in the 90s. That's absolutely not true, even at all. Jeffrey Epstein's friendship with Donald Trump ended because Donald Trump purchased a property out underneath Jeffrey Epstein, and Jeffrey Epstein felt like, or is it the other way around? Let me think. No, property out from underneath Jeffrey Epstein. So Jeffrey Epstein took Donald Trump with him to see this property that he was going to purchase. And then Donald Trump bid underneath him. And Donald Trump didn't even have the money. Who did Donald Trump get the money from? The answer, Russia. Russia. Donald Trump got the money through Russia money laundering through Deutsche Bank. And then he bought this house out from underneath Jeffrey Epstein, and that ruined their friendship. It wasn't all of the kid diddling that they'd been doing that ruined their friendship. And I don't want to hear you pretend that, oh, he turned him in. Donald Trump in 2002, let me pull up the quote, because it's just so pertinent to right now. Well, I'll just paraphrase it because I don't have time to pull it up because it'll like change my life. Donald Trump, I'm going to do it. This is a quote after said that Donald Trump reported him. The Trump New York. Like, I don't know why there's even a debate